Ooh, Freedom.
Hey, yeah, I'm back into the barricade. What I'm doing, counting up money from this year I made. Last year was a different story, but this year I'm paid. Just do 6:30 in the club, I let it ricochet. Extreme rules ain't enough, I put him in a cage. Now it ain't nowhere to hide, you about to catch this fade. Hey, if rap was wrestling, I'm in the Hall of Fame. Playing games, better acknowledge me like I'm Roman Reigns. Hey, but you can't see me though. Took a break, now the final boss back with the demon flow. The innovator, I just do the stuff that they ain't seen. I'm like the Undertaker, a tombstone to put you where you need to go. A match against me and Dog out for showstopper. I'm in the booth with sweet cheer music, I'm the showstopper. Like the Midnight Express, I'm on the road rock. They screaming no mas, I'm old mas, dog, I'm a whole problem. You got the money in the bank, I need the whole profit. Running through my ops like Goldberg, like who gon' stop him? Looking at the clock, it's 3:16, I'ma go spot. And I'ma open up a can of whoop ass like Stone Cold drop. You beating us, the squad like 3D when we teaming up. I got the longest title reign of real rap, it ain't no.
Hola, aloha, guten tag, mushy mushy, and hello. It's once again Wednesday night, so you already know Dynamite. And we're here with
at a time like this with American people. He coming here speaking that stuff, y'all.
See how diverse I am for all the fans. I go ahead and I let everybody know that no matter what color or creed you from, you're all welcome. And then I got Mr. FTW here with me being negative. But yeah, there is a special show tonight because we do have Mr. FTW with us. And I don't have my other co-host because they decided not to clock in tonight. So Mr. FTW, the president, the owner, the one and only Vibez Aew Dynamite, had to clock in tonight, had to show his face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's upset. He's angry. He'd rather be doing anything other than sitting here in front of this camera talking to me about AEW. And you can blame Bonafide Thundercat and Rudy Peace and Love for all that. With that being said, you already know, put the kiddies to bed. It is AEW Mad Family Dynamite Review 420 friendly. I'm here smoking a blizzy. I'm sure Miss FTW smoking one too. We're going to get right into this show with the 3 stars of madness rating. I'm going to give it. Oh, it almost got a 2 from me, people. Maybe even would have been a little bit higher than a 2, but they did some stupid shit that I wasn't really for, so it's getting a straight up 1.7. What you giving this, Miss Tiff? What you got for me? What'd you think tonight's show?
I gotta go 1.5. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta go 1.5. 1.5.
I don't blame you.
Went to interest. FTW, nobody asked to see you tonight.
We got a little cameo from the left TW now.
Yep, let's go. Let's go.
With right on into it. All right. We got a pretty solid, as you know, four matches. Seems to be the formula for these AEW Dynamites. 4 to 5 matches tops, but it's been 4 matches pretty much solid for a little while with a lot of segments in between. I know people have their qualms about it, but look, the segments are how we're building stories. We can't clamor and beg and talk shit about AEW not doing no storytelling, not building those storylines, and then as soon as they start doing it with all these videos and shit, we start complaining about that. You can't have your cake and eat it too all the fucking time, people. So get over it. Here's what we go. Here's what happened tonight. Grand Slam, I guess, is on Saturday, not Wednesday. So I think I said last week that it was going to be, Dynamite Grand Slam. No, it is going to be on Saturday next week. A week from this Saturday is when it will be Grand Slam AEW Dynamite in Australia, when you got all these big, basically a mini pay-per-view coming up. Man, but tonight, February 5th in Atlanta, Georgia, Jay White got started off the show being interviewed in the parking lot by Renee Paquette, saying, about being interviewed about his new friends, rated FTR. Everyone knows how I feel about that. Didn't get to say much. The Death Riders kind of walk up. Jay White jumps on them. You got rated FTR coming out to back him up. They're fighting all the way out from the parking lot down to the ring. Just a brawl to start the show. If it was any other groups, I'd have been down for it. I mean, even with Jay White there. And I'll tell you why I think this is stupid here in a little bit, because we're going to get to re-debut of a certain team that should have been involved in this first thing would have been nice. But anyway, I guess I get why they did it. Real quick, we don't need to waste a whole lot of time on this, Miss FTW. How'd you feel about how they started the show with the brawl? Are you for this rated FTR feud with Jay White versus the Death Riders? And
I mean, I'm with the Jay White face push. I don't get what we're doing. Cope. This is what I'm gonna call him now. Big Cope. This is over at AWE. Okay, doing what he wants. Well, AEW doing what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Having fun. Tony letting him do what he wants. If it don't matter if the fans really like it or not, he gonna do it. So I feel that's how I kind of feel at this point in time. And I'm sorry. You gonna hate me when I say this? You might be looking at your next AEW World Champion.
Oh, Cope? Probably. Sorry, Adam Cope. I'd rather call you Adam Copeland. Cope. I get it. Nothing's gonna be better than Edge. You're Edge. You've been Edge. Everyone knows you as Edge. That's kind of a tight name, so I get it. But it's gonna be hard for me to get around calling you Cope. I never really got down with calling Pete Dunne Butch. Just certain names, certain shit I can't do. Although I never thought I'd stop calling Gunther Walter, but I did. So, never know. I guess only time will tell. We get to our first match of the night, which once again, we got the aerial assassin, that boy Will Ospreay, kicking off the show for us with his first match. Not kicking off the show, but first match of the show. Will Ospreay versus a mystery Don Callis opponent. Didn't say Don Callis family member, just said basically that Don Callis is choosing his opponent. Out comes Mark Davis. And for those of you that don't know, Mark Davis was Kyle Fletcher's old tag partner from Aussie Open, who was also involved with, you guessed it, Will Ospreay. So Don Callis playing all this, I'm going to bring all your friends from the past to fight you. And it's just Don Callis mind games. It's Callis family mind games setting up, Ospreay for the match to come. Of course, we get Don Callis on commentary. And it was a hell of a match. It was a hell of a match to start off. I haven't seen a whole lot of Mark Davis. None solo. This is my first time seeing him in singles competition. Just some impressive shit, man. And Ospreay, that boy can sell. But when does it become a point when Ospreay should be unbeatable? If he's taking all this punishment from all these big guys and taking all these big shots and selling the way he is, he shouldn't, and still winning, then he shouldn't really be beaten. So when do you give him that push to put a title on him? And people aren't going to be satisfied with him having an international or one of those titles again. People are going to want him to have the main. What do you think, Mr. FTW? Let me hear you. I know you're an Ospreay guy. I know you're an Ospreay fan. What do you think about this beginning match and just kind of basically what I touched on?
For me personally, I think if Will Ospreay was going to be in that main title feud, I think he would have been in this feud right now. What's going on? But right now, I think he having fun with his boy. You know what I'm saying? Him and Kyle Fletcher, they have one of the better storylines going on in AEW right now. To be honest, they honestly do. So I feel like after this storyline, we can pick up and get back to title hunting for Will Ospreay. But right now, I think we're seeing the actual entertainment with the storyline base showing that Will can do it all, respectfully. He doesn't need a title to be entertained. Okay.
Very well said. Right after the match, we do get Ospreay picking up the victory. Obviously, it looks like the Callis family is going to do something, but Ospreay kind of gets the mic and says, "Hey, bruv, yada yada, I got a new best friend backstage." Of course, Kenny Omega's music comes down. Kenny's got to hog the spotlight. Yeah, wasted pyro, probably cost him $25,000 for his adieu, mwah, good night, bang shit that he does, which I'm sorry. Omega's one of the best I've ever seen in the ring, and yes, definitely, I won't debate that. But that catchphrase is absolutely one of the worst I've ever heard. I don't know why it's over. I don't know why he's been using it for his career. And it works in Japan. Cool. I think it is garbage. Absolute trash. If he would have stuck with "I want to bid y'all adieu," the way he says that, because I know he used to have like this douchey little best bout collector guy with the kind of, okay, cool. I bid you adieu and good night or something, but adieu, mwah, bang, mwah. No, it does not work for me. I don't know why it works for people. I think it's fucking stupid. It was good to see Kenny, but of course, we're going to get the tag match. Lost Mr. FTW for a second. There he is. We're going to get the tag match, coming up with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay at Grand Slam against Kyle Fletcher and, is it Takeshita? No. Yeah. I believe it is. Yes, Takeshita, which that's going to be a fucking absolute banger. You got anything you want to say or touch on the Kenny Omega before we move on?
Kenny Omega, I think he's one of the greatest of all time, personally. So, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I like Trey. You maybe call me Mark.
You broke up a little bit there at the end. What'd you say? This FTW's got some technical difficulties. Down me on my own tonight, it looks like. Now go ahead, brother. I see.
Can you hear me now?
A little robotic. You're a little cutting in and out a little bit. No big deal. No big deal. We'll let you get that settled, get that situated. Want to thank everyone that's joined in tonight for the show. As always, I hear Mr. FTW kind of clear now. All right. Looks like we might be getting. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Mr. FTW.
Yo.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
But like I was saying, I'm kind of a mark for it, so don't judge me.
No, I mean, you know what I said. I know it's a thing. I know people love it. Like, probably more people like it than dislike it. I think it's dumb as fuck. I think it's one of the worst ones I've heard. But with that being said, he is one of the best in ring ever to do it. He's not done yet. I know we're going to see some more bangers out of him. I just hope he can stay healthy long enough to give us, he goes so hard. He puts everything into everything he does. He gets hurt a lot. He has recently, at least. We get into a string of segments, which if Bonafide was here, she'd say, this is when she fell asleep and had to go, get something to eat or whatever because she hates all the segments in between the matches when there's too many. But we get a Swerve and Ricochet recap video, which hyped me up because, I've been waiting to see the Swerve and Ricochet. I was so fucking stoked. To see it was the main event tonight, my heart fell. Because I know how AEW does their damn main events. They get 7 to 10 minutes left on the time, and then you got a commercial break or two in between, and then they'll go over a little bit, but then it'll feel rushed as fuck. And I hate it. And they do it all the goddamn time. Tony Khan, you're on motherfucking Max now. All right, you're already edgy as fuck. Go ahead, let them jabronis that watch on TNT, TBS, whatever the fuck, it goes off. They don't get to see the good shit. Continue on. Finish the fucking match. Give us another 20, 30 motherfucking minutes on Max. And you can do whatever the fuck you want because it's edgy at that point. You can say fuck without bleeping shit out at that point. Damn, man. Ain't that damn hard. Anyways, we got a Hurt Syndicate in-ring promo where they come out. The only problem I had with this is they already gave props to Private Party a week or two ago. MVP said the exact same shit he already said. Like, he said it last time, Dynamite. You're not at a house show, P. We saw it live on TV. You don't have to repeat the same thing. That you give them props, and they fought hard, but they came up against these two, and we're here to take all the gold. You already said all of this. Damn near verbatim. The crowd was with them anyways. They hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people. They were chanting, we hurt people. You can see Bobby and Shelton. I think they're kind of weirded out because they're loving it, but I'm sure they fully came in expecting to be a heel stable, a heel faction. And instead, people loved them from the jump because people loved the the Hurt Business, even though they were trying to be heels. And it just didn't, I think it's going to work anyways. They're going to be faces. They're just going to be, faces that hurt people. Because, they're slapping hands. They're smiling. They're doing all this face shit. Part of the night, I thought, was in answer to the Hurt Syndicate's, once again, declaration they're coming for all the gold. And that everyone in the tag division is on notice. We get the return of the Guns. Sort of. We get them come down the ring, try a little bit of verbal jiu-jitsu. Doesn't really work all that well. But we do get a tag match for next week for the AEW tag titles. And we'll get to see the Guns back in the ring, or as MVP so eloquently called them on his way out of the ring, the Ass Boys. We get a Hangman Page interview in the back right after, where he's being asked, does he regret the Texas Death Match or putting Christopher Daniels out? And he says, no, he basically asked for it himself. He wanted a Texas Death Match with the Hangman. And that's exactly what he got into Christopher Daniels' career, on screen at least. Max Caster tries to interrupt him, saying, I see MTG. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Max Caster, kind of interrupts him. Hey, man, I've been waiting forever. He's got his little plaques certifying him as the best wrestler alive. I love it. Okay, it's hilarious. And Hangman pisses Hangman off. Hangman's, he tries to get, Hangman, take out Bowens or take out, Billy Gunn, Oh, well, neither one of them here. How about I just take out you, Mr. Caster? Oh, no, never mind. You know what, Renee? I've been waiting long. It's all good. I'm going to go ahead. And Hangman, no, let me walk you to your car. Yeah. Walks out street. Great little comedic segment where Hangman stays and straight up, I'm just going to destroy you. Doesn't even a smile or nothing. And Max Caster's doing a good job right now being a comedic relief. All right, MTG, let me get your take on the show up to this point. We got some time still to kill. I've been kind of having a one-man show it tonight. Missed FTW has been having some technical difficulties. My other co-hosts, they couldn't clock in tonight. So before we break it down, or you break it down to me from the beginnings, you saw the whole show, right? You saw all of Dynamite? No,
I didn't tune in until the part where the Gun Club came out with the Hurt Syndicate.
Okay.
And I don't get off. I usually don't get off of work till 8:30, so I can never really watch the whole entire show.
Okay, well, that's pretty much the point I'm at. Then we'll get you from there. But from what you saw of the show from that point on, what would you give it on a rating from 1 to 3?
2.5.
Ooh, you enjoyed tonight then? Okay.
Yep.
So how'd you feel about the Hurt Syndicate segment with the Guns coming out, declaring, and then them setting up the tag match, and then the Hangman Max Caster stuff?
As far as the Hurt Syndicate and the Gun Club part, they're just trying to. It's good that the AEW is giving Shelton and Bobby a title run to defend the titles a lot often. Are they going to fight at Australia or the next pay-per-view?
Yes.
Whatever.
I believe no. Actually, they didn't say it was going to be in Brisbane. I don't believe. I think they're going to be going. I don't know. I heard something about Tuesday. I'm confused on what AEW, because the NBA All-Star stuff is next week, so they're having to adjust when they're doing things. And when we get the exact times, we'll be sure the FTW podcast will post them when the shows are. But
like I was saying,
I think it's the show before whatever show they're going to have before they have the show on Saturday before that. So. Which is seeming like that's a collision, but they've still labeled it as Dynamite. Maybe I don't know. Again, I'm kind of confused on what they're doing with these this time. I just know it's going to be a banger.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. And the Hurt Syndicate's going to retain. They're just trying to make their title run memorable, which is what they should do. Mm-hmm. And I kind of missed the Hangman part. I was doing something when that came on.
Not a problem. We can move on then. The debut of the Hounds of Hell, at least on Dynamite. I think they wrestled on Collision. They had a 1-0 record. yes, people, the House of Black, for those that don't follow or don't know, if you don't watch both shows, Dynamite and Collision, House of Black's no more. Malachi Black is, I think, still under contract with AEW, but he's just waiting. Once it's over, he's leaving. They know he's done. He's not re-signing. He probably will be going back to WWE if he hasn't already signed with WWE. I have no idea about his contract status. I just know Malachi Black is done in AEW. So the House of Black is done. Julia Hart was mentioned by Brody and Buddy in a little segment that they had. So I'm assuming she's part of the Hounds of Hell or whatever. She's still with them. And the last time we did see her, about a month ago or so, when she re-debuted, came back, they still announced her as representing the House of Black. So again, there's some confusion and not really, tightly held together storyline with AEW, which they suffer from.
Mm-hmm.
The match itself was fucking amazing. This was Brody King and Buddy Matthews, the Hounds of Hell, versus Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family. And this was probably match of the night. This was a fantastic match. It was played out well. I am upset that the Hounds of Hell did not win because, okay, they dissolved the House of Black. You got these two beasts, and they lose, but they lost to Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita.
Wait, I thought they won. Remember that double move that they...
Brody King got double brainbuster. Remember Konosuke?
Oh, yeah.
Up and drop him on his head, and then Fletcher pinned him.
Okay, yeah. You're right. Because that match was good.
Great sequences. There was 2 or 3 times when they just had a sequence and a stream of moves. That was like, damn. Great match. Again, the outcome, I'm iffy with, but it makes sense because that team, Fletcher and Takeshita, is the tag team that's going into Brisbane to face Ospreay and Omega. So they got to kind of give them a win to have them give them momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything you want to say about this match?
It was a good tag match. I enjoyed it. I liked that double move that Brody and Buddy did where I think Kyle was on the bottom rope and then he did I think
Cannonball drop kick.
Yeah, he did a cannonball and a drop kick. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. And I thought that was the ending of the match, but then you told me what the finish was, which now I remember.
Yeah. Ooh, wee boy. Yeah, no, it definitely for people that haven't got to see Brody King for the first time tonight or haven't seen Buddy Matthews, Matthews, or none of that. Y'all been missing out. All right, look, these guys, very talented guys, especially Brody King.
They are.
Brody King.
I hope they do something with them. And now that Malachi is out, I hope they do something with them.
Yes, either one of those guys could have singles runs, and the fact that Buddy is getting a singles title shot against the Rainmaker, which is really that's the reason that they lost, was the Rainmaker's music hit, kind of confused. Buddy was got distracted. That led to the last course of events where Brody did end up taking the pin. Again, I didn't like that. Buddy should have been the one. And I hate saying that because Buddy's so talented, but Brody is a fucking monster. Just the way they did it, though, having him have to assist him with the brainbuster, how big he is. They hit another finisher before that. It was very, very well done. Okay, it was. Like I said, it's probably match of the night just with every shot was oof, wow, damn, shit, ooh, the whole match. So that's what you kind of want to see. We get a Hook and a Samoa Joe backstage segment where they're going to go talk to the patriarchy, and all Hook's telling Joe his own wisdom, and Joe's like, "What'd I tell you about using my own stuff against me?" They go back there. Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne are back in the locker room instead of Christian Cage and Mother Wayne and all that, and whatever. Mm-hmm. So Joe and Hook go ahead and beat them down. You see Cage pop his head in and go, and then pop back out and hide in the room beside and come back in. What happened, guys? Afterward, hilarious. Okay, great. AEW to me, one of the things they do very well, they know how to have comedy segments. They understand the comedic aspect of sports entertainment. WWE is hit or miss. They've got some just corny, just kind of. AEW is pretty consistently. If they've got a gimmick that's a comedy gimmick, it hits pretty good. It's you got Chris Jericho's learning tree. You've got Harley Cameron, her spiel. Timeless Tony Storm is mwah. I love her comedy and the way that she has been telling her story. I lost MTG. I'm just losing everybody tonight, people. We're having technical difficulties. I'm doing what I can. I hope that I'm able to entertain you guys and gals, anyone else watching, and keep you around. You know, I'm getting hit with all these obstacles, but I'm gonna just keep on going over the hurdles. Keep the chin tucked, bob and weave, hit that uppercut. Man, I think I'm being set up for failure here, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. Mr. FTW, you want to go ahead and hit them sponsors a little bit early since we're having all these difficulties? Maybe we can, figure shit out by the end of it.
Yo, FTW gang. I know it's a little different seeing your boy Mr. FTW not with behind the bright lights with his championship belt. I'm in the car. I'm in the FTW bucket, man. With that being said, I gotta let you guys know. Yes, shout out to Real. But yes, that being said, here, 5 to 7 business days a week. If you want to be a paid sponsor, all you got to do is hit me up, man. We run live 5 through 7 business days a week, and we go live on 5 different platforms, gang. 5 different platforms. You can go out there and reach, really reach the numbers you really want to reach. Let us help you do that. And with that being said, man, I always want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. So shout out to all the paid sponsors if you are a paid sponsor already. And shout out to the ones that are that's going to become a sponsor in the future. And with that being said,
Down M13 through Genesee, I-75 is the home for me. Welcome to Saginaw, Saginaw, Saginaw. Down M13 through Genesee.
Can be, and as you already know, that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Today, guys, a milestone video, a huge video, one that I was talking about a few videos back, a few new figure pickup videos back. We were talking about this right here. It is none other than episode 50 of New Figure Pickups. It is crazy to think that this YouTube started back up again after so many years of being away. We started back up in June of 2022. Here we are, a little over 2 years later, 50 episodes later of New Figure Pickups. I told you guys it was going to be a good one. It was going to be a big one. We're going to try to make sure that we don't make this.
Hey, there we go. We got MTG back with us. Want to give, again, thank you to all of our sponsors. We appreciate the support. And we're going to keep plugging your products as long as you keep paying us. Nah, Oh, man. I was right at the hook, Joe. Yes, MJF. Always when MJF comes out, everyone just stop what they're doing. I don't care what you're doing. You need to stop. You need to shut the fuck up. You need to tell your significant other, shut the fuck up, because MJF's about to speak. That's just the way it is. The way it will always be. Because no one is on the level of the devil. He's better than all of us, and we know it. It's just that simple. So MJF comes out talking shit about geriatric Jeff, as he calls him, Jeff Jarrett. and how the the elite Eve in AEW stands for elite and not elderly. That cracked him. He cracked himself up a little bit with that. And we get Max Caster running in, trying to hide from Hangman, with MJF looking like, what the fuck's going on? Hangman comes out, has a stare down with MJF, walks just right out, chases Max Caster through. I mean, hilarious. I lost him again. This is just a shit show of a show tonight, people. I am sorry. I apologize. We're going to keep trucking forward. Dustin Rhodes comes out. This, are we trying to do where MJF is like, he's just going to retire all the old heads and this is his shtick now? Because that's very reminiscent of legend killer Randy Orton, and I don't like if they're going this direction with MJF. But Dustin Rhodes comes out. They have words. They have blows. Brawl ensues. It doesn't later than announce that Dustin Rhodes will be fighting MJF next week. Dynamite. But again, I don't think this is Brisbane. So next week, people. It's happening next week. That's all I know. I don't know exactly when. This is ridiculous. Go. Queen Aminata versus Toni Storm. The third match of the night is our next topic of discussion. However, it's Toni Storm playing the part of Mariah May. Mariah May is on commentary for this match. She's already down with the guys at ringside on commentary. Her music hits. Toni Storm comes out dressed as Mariah May, looking amazing. Really shitty extension stuff she has in that falls out the whole match. Decent match though. To see Toni in there with Queen Aminata. I'll tell you, Aminata did the best that she could, and she showed out a little bit during that match. I love this time with Toni. This is hands down the best Toni Storm we've ever seen. I'm glad that they didn't get rid of the timeless Toni when we saw her just Toni Storm with the amnesia. That was just like loving it, loving every single bit of it. Her coming out dressed as Mariah, looking good, doing Mariah's moveset with her own moveset, winning the match, setting up for her and Mariah in Brisbane. Mr. FTW is back with me. I can hear some background noise, so he's got his audio. What's up, brother? Let me know how you feel about what we're going up to thus far.
I don't know how I feel about this, because here's my thing.
Okay.
I say this. Toni Storm has been so great. We have kind of had to Charlotte Flair her in AEW in a way. And every time the main title keeps reverting back to her. The only way we're going to be able to put over women and make women better and make superstars is to put over others. But I hate this because it's such a great storyline with her beginning coming back. But I'm sorry, we need Mariah May to retain this title. We really want to push Mariah May to that next level, in my opinion.
I have to begrudgingly agree with you, because Toni Storm is already 3 times women's champion, and they keep throwing the title on her because she's the absolute best woman in AEW. Hands down, I don't even think it's close. And yes, people, I'm including Mercedes Moné in that conversation. I don't feel like it's close. Toni is the best Toni she's ever been right now. She's loving what she's doing, and she's doing it fantastic. So, we're at this Jey Uso type conundrum. When you've got someone so over and so hot, even if she's already been 3 times world champion, yes, Mariah May is over as well. But Toni is on fucking fire. Do you put the belt on her? Do you not? I agree. Mariah May is fantastic, and we need to build more women in AEW so we can have better matches, better women's storylines, more women's matches, things of that nature. We need that. But with Toni, I don't want Toni Storm being a Dolph Ziggler, being the only one that's so good that everybody has to beat Toni to get to that next level. No, Toni's too good for that, in my opinion.
No, I don't think it'll be Dolph Ziggler, and I don't think just every woman in AEW personally. But I would say just with this particular feud right here, you know what I'm saying? Just with this particular feud, and even then, I mean, you think about it like this: what is there left for Tony Storm to even do in AEW? So at some point in time, you gotta start being that next level to put over somebody and beat somebody. Think about it. At one point in time, it was Kenny Omega. You had to beat Kenny Omega to that next part or that next level. You know what I'm saying? And respectfully, she's done everything at that point to where you have to beat her if you want to kind of take it to that next level, in my opinion. I hate it's like that, but I feel like that's just the way it is.
I can agree with that. How you feel about the MJF, the Max Caster little shit, the Dustin Rhodes, Gold Dust coming out?
Yeah, I don't know what they got going on with that shit. I mean, look, if MJF is going to call this something new to kill, I'm cool with it, I guess. But here's the thing. You see how fast you caught on to that? Think about how fast everybody catches on to that. So for me, it's going to always revert back to MJF doing WWE sticks, but still talking shit about WWE. So I need to see some. So now it's starting making like, come on, MJF, show me something different now, because we all know this stick is doing this. This is done with the Randy Orton Legend Kill stick. So it's just like, you know, I'm a little 50-50 on it, but yeah.
I'm the probably biggest MJF mark there fucking is. Like, he can do no wrong in my eyes. This is wrong. I don't like it. I hope this is not the direction they're taking it. That's the feel that I'm getting. And if this is the direction that they're going with the whole, you know, kind of a AEW's version of the Legend Killer, I hope it's not MJF's idea. I hope he's just following orders and we find out later on.
It's definitely his idea.
That's the problem.
They're going to do what they want.
We'll never know. I mean, we'll eventually know. Probably is. I hope it's not, if this is it.
I put my money on it, that it is.
We may never know, but I'm sure hopefully one day. One day. As far as Dustin Rhodes, yeah, he can still go, man. I'm not going to say he can't. He's just as good, if not better, than Jeff Jarrett and all them. He's younger, you know, by almost 10 years or so. But I don't want to see it. I don't care to see that match next week.
And I wrestled one of his students, so it gave me a different respect for him than I wrestling one of his students less than 2 weeks ago.
I mean, we know Dustin's going to bleed all over the place. And we know he's going to lose. And MJF's going to put him to pasture. I'm the last of my kind. That's what Dustin keeps saying. I'm the last of my kind. I'm the last of my kind. Okay, if this wasn't the Legend Killer, I'd be all for it. If they'd have found a different way. If they hadn't done him and Jeff Jarrett. Even if it was just a one-off with him and Jeff. Jeff challenged him. Okay, he beat Jeff. He didn't say, I'm ending your career, yada, yada. Just, I beat Jeff Jarrett. I beat you. And then he comes with, okay, Dustin, you're the last of your kind. Well, I'm going to end your kind because this is my time, my era, right now. Fuck your kind. You're done. That would be fine. That's not necessary. That is a Legend Killer, but that to me is different enough. It's not the Randy Orton Legend Killer. It's one guy. I'm taking this one guy who said he's the last one. He's the last of his. I'm taking him out. That's just not how I see this going. What's up?
I think Garrett's Mick Foley.
What do you think about this, MTG?
I have mad respect for Dustin Rhodes. I've always had. And I like that he's adding all his characters, like Goldust, Black Rain, and him himself, mixing it all up to him. So you notice the bodysuit and all the references and stuff. But as far as this segment goes, I mean, I do like this whole Legend Killer thing from MJF. They're trying to get MJF even more over. and him by beating down legends. I'm all for it. And you might not be for it, but I'm all for it. And I hope this match next week between him and Dustin, I hope I see a bloody hardcore match or something, because like you said, Dustin's gonna bleed. And again, I have mad respect for Dustin. I hope I meet him one day. I hope I meet him when I go to Dallas and All In, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have meet and greets for the fans. And he would be the number 2 guy I would really want to meet out of everybody there, because I have mad respect for that guy. I love Dustin.
And how'd you feel about the Queen Amanada Tony Storm match and the kind of how Tony came out as Mariah and all that? Looks like I lost him again, people. He'll be lagging out here any second. All right, so I'm going to go. Yeah, there he is. All right, so we'll go on to the Dustin Rhodes backstage challenged MJF, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much touched on that. New York Minute live, the first ever live New York Minute with the Learning Tree, the Redwood Big Bill, and the Bad Apple Brian Keith. This had potential. It was hilarious at first, and then once again, here comes Hobbs, and then the brawl. Yet another brawl ensues, and Hobbs and Big Cass or Big Bill are back and forth. I mean, I'll say this: you don't see a lot of legitimately 7 feet tall motherfuckers. One, in the shape that Bill's in. 2, doing these kind of brawls consistently. These types of, you may not be doing a lot of moves, but they're fighting. They're not fighting in a ring, man. They're taking bumps on concrete. They're getting into barricades. They're going over barricades, landing on concrete. These are 2 big motherfuckers that are beating the hell out of each other. And I don't think that Bill gets enough fucking credit for being 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. And just doing the shit he does do, moving the way he moved. Big Show never moved like that. Andre that sure as fuck never moved like that. Omos can't move like that, but Omos is like 4 inches taller. So Omos is a 7'4" motherfucker. That's a big dude. All right. So I won't even go there. Omos is a whole nother breed. For as tall as he is, he's in fantastic shape. But Big Bill does not get enough credit at all. But this,
yeah, sorry guys, my phone keeps restarting, so I'm having a little technical difficulty.
That's why you should never go on porn on your phone. Like you just don't never do that, man. That your phone will never be the same after that. You know how many phones Mr. FTW's had to get? I mean, shit. Anyways. It popped up so quick. Oh, shit. Anyway, we get to the
I wanted to say about the Tony Storm Queen Amanada. That was actually a decent match. I enjoyed it. I liked it. But it would have been better if Tony was fighting a heel instead of a face. I don't know why they put a face versus face.
They got a lot of women, man. That's the problem. AEW does not have a very deep women's roster at all. They probably should. Really, honestly, they probably shouldn't have 2 titles.
Right.
They probably shouldn't at this point.
I was against the TBS title since day one. I actually hated the idea of it in the beginning because I was like, there's not enough good people on this roster to have a second women's champion. I've always been saying that. But overall, this is a great match. And this Mariah May and Tony Storm thing is far from over. And the next part was, what was the next part after that?
The New York Minute, the live New York Minute with the Learning Tree, and then Hobbs came out and Big Bill, they started brawling.
A 7-footer versus a powerhouse bodybuilder. That was actually pretty cool. And I like the idea of it. Those guys are going to have a good feud.
They fought a couple times already. And they've had some hardcore shit that they've done off the stage, through tables, etc., so on and so forth. Like,
yeah, I could see that all that was on Collision. I don't really watch Collision.
yeah, it was. I need to start watching it. Once I am able to start wrestling full time, I'll definitely be able to keep up on Collision as well. But until then, you know, life intervenes, work intervenes, schedules conflict. Main event, Swerve Strickland, Ricochet. Here's why I'm fucking pissed. Was so stoked for this goddamn match. When the main event hits, we get 7 minutes before the end of the show. Oh, we get to go over like another 7 minutes. Cool. This should not have been a rushed 12-minute match. Not at all. It's a fucking main event, and it's Swerve and fucking Ricochet. The only thing...
Tony, stop trying to just put so much on the card down if it's some shit in.
It's only like, 4 matches. It was 4 matches. It was only 4 matches. This is where I'm going to back up bona fide. Cut out some of these fucking segments then. If you can't give us a goddamn main event, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. The beginning match and the last match should be the 2 longest matches on your fucking card. Okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. You want to get the crowd hooked at the beginning. You give them some shit in the middle where they can go do their bathroom breaks, get their food, stretch their legs, whatever they need to do. And then you want to keep them captivated for the very last of the event so they go home afterwards like, whoo, man, that was good. It's not a hard formula, people. Promoters, it's not that fucking difficult. I laid it out there for you. You complain you don't make no goddamn money because you don't promote your product and you don't fucking build the card correctly. It's not that hard. Tony Khan, I don't know what you're doing. This match was so good in such a short time that you gave us. I mean, it should have and could have been so much better. The only good thing about it is Ricochet won, which swerved the shit out of me because I did not expect it.
And that finish was kind of weak. I actually enjoyed that match. It's just the finish was just way too weak. I was disappointed by that finish.
Because they rushed it.
And I thought Swerve was going to win.
You're on Max. Why not? Same shit that WWE's been doing with their Monday Night Raw. Bros, y'all got no time limit. You boasted about we're no longer 2 hours. We got no time limit. Hey, and you ain't done anything longer than 2.5 hours yet. And you take away those commercials, it's barely 2 hours. Shit. I don't know. I was excited for this year's State of Wrestling. I'll tell you what, I'm not impressed. Since January, I'm not impressed with either product. I'm not saying that either product sucks. I'm just saying I'm not impressed at all. So many storylines in WWE, I'm like, I don't care. WWE dropping the ball on all their main events with the time limit. This is becoming a weekly thing where they're getting 10 minutes before they get into their main event. I'm getting tired of it. This is pretty much the show, people. Man, we got a little bit of a short one tonight. We had technical difficulties, and it was a show that was pretty easy to just, breeze through. Before we go, though, I do want to get MTG and Mr. FTW's opinion on the current state of professional wrestling. That is WWE, AEW. This is AEW, but I'm asking a broad question because we are all still wrestling fans. And basically, we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on it. Just, you heard my little rant about it. Kind of give me your opinion. We'll start with MTG.
As far as WWE goes, it's a little, how do I say it? Questionable and confusing at the same time.
In what way? What do you mean by questionable?
I don't want to get too heavy into this topic.
Okay.
It's about Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble.
Okay, that's good. I get what you mean there from that synopsis.
Now John Cena is going to take a whole month off, and we don't see him till Elimination Chamber. And I didn't think Roman and Steph were going to have a feud. So along with Punk,
right?
Well, none of us ever thought that, and it's an AEW.
Yep.
I really can't say what. I really can't say much about AEW because I just got back into it. I just don't like weak finishes like that, like how we've been throwing tonight. Because I know there was a few episodes that we've been on here and talked about some other weak finishes.
Yep.
That needs to stop.
Yeah.
And what else?
Do you
That's
think?
all-
Do you think
That's
that
all-
we're moving? Do you think that we're moving in a good direction, or that at least we'll get there, or you think this is going to be one of those flop years? Because you know wrestling has flop years.
I don't know if it'll be a flop year. More like a confusing and questionable year.
So you think it's going to last all year?
Probably, and there's probably some things that's gonna happen that we don't expect. Hell, what if John Cena might not win the Elimination Chamber, even though he didn't win the Rumble, and they say he's gonna go on this whole streak?
It would be different, definitely. Missed
And when I go to AEW in Dallas, I really want to know what the main event is gonna be for that.
Well, it depends on if Cope is champion or not. If he takes it from Mox before then, or if that's when he takes it from Mox. Who knows?
I don't want to see Kofi as world champion when I go.
That's probably going to happen. Okay,
I love Cope.
Yeah,
I love Cope, but
one thing about AEW that another thing I can't stand is they give a lot of their old heads and people that are going out doing their last run. They're like Bryan Danielson. They give him the title. It's like, hey, Sting. Hey, Sting's going to win the tag titles in his last match ever, and then they're going to have to relinquish the tag titles because Sting retired immediately afterwards.
and
I love
it.
I get it. No, I get it. Sting. I mean, when I was a kid, it was Sting, Undertaker, WCW, Sting, Undertaker, WWE. That was.
I agree with you.
Those
are my two.
That's how it was.
Undertaker's number one. Sting is number two at my all-time list.
That's
what you call?
That's probably how it was for me as well. Yeah. Mr. FTW. Your turn, sir. Let me hear it. Go ahead. Sound off. This is our final rant.
The iffy main event. I feel like it's going to be a flop year because they still going to get matches that you weren't expecting. That's like, or you're going to get matches that we was expecting. And the storyline just didn't hit like it was supposed to. So, it's one thing. And that's on both sides.
Sure.
But it seems like they're rushing to give us matches. Like, I feel like personally, with all due respect, like on the WWE side, we could have given it Royal Rumble to somebody else and still found a way to get Charlotte versus Tiffany. They could not have just spent those on that area. So that's just my thing about it.
I agree about that. We all knew Charlotte Flair was winning that, and she didn't need to. They could have got her to face Tiffany or whatever they wanted her to do at Mania a different way. They could have gave
it was the same way we did AEW when Will Ospreay got here. I feel like Will Ospreay and JF happened way too soon. We wanted it all in, but I felt like all in Texas and America is so much bigger than what did that when it was. So you weren't going to get it in the first one. So
it's at Texas. No, it's at the Ranger Stadium, right across the street from Texas Stadium, which still fits a lot of fucking people. I've been to that stadium a couple times for Ranger games when I lived there in Arlington.
Baseball stadiums are good enough for any wrestling promotion.
It's gonna be big. You know, they're not gonna be able to fit 100,000 people like Mania did. Across the street in the Cowboy Stadium. But
I noticed on Ticketmaster when I was just on the website earlier. Mm-hmm. Not every section is gonna be on sale. Not because they're sold out. I wish they would make every seating inside of that arena sale. I don't know why they're not doing that.
It's because of how they set up their truss and their screen. You know, they do like WWE. They have their setup, so they don't want to sell those tickets back there where you're not going to be able to see nothing.
I get you. Yeah, it makes sense.
So you got to block out. You probably lose a couple hundred, if not a couple thousand seats by doing that, depending on your setup of your rigs and everything. It's part of it. That's why I think WWE is doing the new. I like the way they do their Raw. They make like a circular dome. Is how they set their shit up with their seats, so they can have seats all around and people can see. It's kind of neat. I like how they do their new setup. But yes, before we go, I do want to remind people to follow the FTW podcast and to pay attention because Mania is full-fledged. It's season. FTW podcast will be in Vegas for the entirety of WrestleMania. And on the night one, we will be hosting our own watch party as well as our own wrestling event immediately following WrestleMania, night one. That is April 19th. Coming on up. There it is. FTW Mania, people. More people than you got on the poster right there will be there. Some surprises that we can't really announce right now, but, coming down the pipe. Your boys will be in action. Pretty much the entire FTW podcast family that does wrestle will be wrestling at this event as well. You got Mr. FTW, Vibez Aew Dynamite wrestling, and I believe the main event for the first ever FTW championship. It's going to be a banger. Yeah, everyone, make sure they tune in to see that. Of course, if you can't catch it live, we will be uploading them to the channel, YouTube, Instagram, wherever the fuck we can. So follow. And if you're going to be in Vegas, come on by. Tickets are on sale for the event. Exclusive 100 seats is all we got. 100 tickets. Once you get them, they're gone, and you ain't going to want to miss this. The special guests. I believe Tay-Rock is the host of this, I believe. Wasn't that right? Something like that. I think Mr. T. There we go. There's the host of FTW Mania. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. There will be drinks. There will be food. Yeah. Make sure you're there if you're in the Vegas area, or if you're going to just be going to WrestleMania anyways. You can't get into the stadium. Tickets are expensive as fuck. You don't want to pay $200 for nosebleed seats. Come kick it with the crew. We're going to have the screens up. We're going to be watching Mania. We're going to be drinking, having a hell of a good time. Then you're going to have a hell of an indie show afterwards. That's all I got to say. I think I plugged this long enough. Lyle Madman Murray here with Mr. FTW and MTG Gaming. Thanks, Miguel. Good to have you popping in and helping me out. I'm out. Y'all, everyone stay mad.
See y'all later. See y'all on Thursday for MTG Gaming.